Good evening. I came across a riveting video posted by Eek Acres on YouTube. The poster isn't very upfront with his personal information like his name or his town. But judging from his videos, he moves around quite a bit. Be that as it may, this story comes from his personal experience on one late night while he was camping overnight in his van. For brevity's sake, I will be shortening the video from its original 17 minutes. I will chime in at times.
I was staying at a trailhead because I was at a small remote campground in the middle of nowhere. There was no running water. There was no facilities, no restrooms, no anything. And I was staying at a remote campground and some bizarre things were taking place at the campground. And so in the middle of the night, I decided it was best if I were to leave. And so I left the campground and it was late in the night. And I was sleeping right here. I always sleep on the driver's side, my feet down there and my head up here near the tailgate of the van. And so I've got blackout panels in the windows that are felt covered. You can't see anything outside. So the whole interior of this van was all blacked out and closed off so nothing could look inside my van. Well, as I was sleeping here, at roughly 1 o'clock in the morning, I was awakened at this corner of the van, in this corner. And with the gate closed, there was something on the back of my van right where my head was. My head was right here. So it was on the back of my van right here with the gate shut. And it was all over the back window. And it startled me awake. And as I'm laying here sleeping, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is outside of my van? So what happened is that I was in my van and something was on the back of the van and it was coming around this corner. And my van was backed in at the trailhead. And behind the van was a thick forest and there was those state boulders that they put in at a trailhead, those big giant rocks that they space about 3 feet apart. That's what I was backed up to. Well, whatever came up to my van came out of the woods, and I was awakened to the most horrific, godforsaken sound you could ever be awakened to. Let me step up here so I can show you what it did. There are the claw marks right there. It dug into the paint, and it also raked its claws across the luggage rack right here. And I got damage all the way around this van because this thing that was reaching the roof of my van was hooking on with its claws like this and just raking the van. This is what I woke up to, the sound of just claws raking the body of my vehicle.
He proceeds to show every claw mark on the van that extends from top to bottom and on all sides.
And it went all around the van, scratching it all over the place. As I was sleeping here in the back of the van, that's when I was awakened to this thing at the back door, right at the back hatch. And it literally sounded like it was trying to rip the third wiper off the window. I thought I lost the wiper to this van, the way this thing was digging at the back gate. And then it was digging up here at the corner of the roof as it was coming across. And it was coming up this side of the van. I never heard it scratch that side of the van, but it was on that side of the van from the damage. And I got between the seats and I got into the driver's seat, and it was literally like a horror movie. When they show in the movie where they're fumbling to get the keys in the ignition, that actually happened to me because nothing was illuminated. It was stone black. And my ignition does not light up and illuminate until you put the key in it. Well, I didn't have the key in it yet, and I was trying to find the ignition. And what I did is I stepped on the brake and I looked right into the side on my door, the side mirror, to look straight down the outside of my van as this thing is already digging at this side of the van. And when I stepped on the brake, it lit the woods behind me and the boulders that were behind my van, and the whole back end of the parking lot lit up bright red. And I got big taillights on the back of this van. They're big and they're bright. and nothing was there. When I was looking in my mirror, I expected to see whatever it was right here on the side of the van, because it was coming up to right about where the door was by the time I made it to the driver's seat, and there was nothing, absolutely nothing. I didn't see anything run away. I didn't see anything move and dart behind the back of the van, nothing. And it literally sounded like it was riding on top of my van, like it got up on the roof and it was on my van as I was driving away. And I was driving pretty damn fast, you guys. It was pea soup fog that night. You could barely see past the front hood of the van. And I was just praying to God I wasn't gonna hit a deer or, you know, some large dog or anything. And as I was driving home, I could hear more scratching going on up on the roof. It sounded like it was on the roof of the van and it was riding with me. Now, it could have been a bear. It could have been anything, you guys, but I never saw it. I never saw it, but I've got the physical damage on my vehicle from the thing clawing the hell out of my van. But here's my point. That after I experienced that, I realized from that night, the sound and the whole experience of what that was like to go through that was actually terrifying. I realized that if I had been in a tent, I wouldn't be here right now. My van. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know of any bear that can make off that quick, because I didn't make any sound. I was totally silent.
What I found to be very freaky was how the thing was heard on top of the van as he was driving away. Now, this gentleman appears to be quite sincere and gives a great amount of detail both in what he witnessed and what he was feeling at the time. There are several points to consider about the event. First was the location being at a trailhead entering into the woods. Second was the loud sound he heard behind the van, a sound that he didn't identify. I found that point very interesting, since his site is all about camping and survival, and you'd think he'd know what certain animals sound like. Then there are the scratch marks that are up too high for most animals, and he even dismisses it being from a bear. At times he refers to it as the creature. Finally, whatever it was on top of his van as he was driving away from the area. Now, I suppose what happened that night is up for debate. He sounds very serious and convincing in the long telling of the story, but it's possible that he could be relating from a standpoint of an overactive imagination. Regardless, it's one hell of a story and quite freaky. Thanks for watching.